Hi, today we are going to study about the layers of the earth. This is a very common topic, and you would have studied it in school also. And it is also a very popular question in the UPSC board for prelims, where you need to know all sorts of data. So, the layers of the earth are actually divided into three parts. So, the right on top, we have the crust, and the data for that is that it is between 100 within 100 kilometers thick, and just below that is the mantle, and the mantle is 2900 kilometers thick, and finally we have the core, and the core is 5100 kilometers thick. Sometimes some books may give you four layers, in which case they have divided the core into outer core and inner core, but uh, geographically or geologically, we generally consider this as one zone. So the data you need to know here is the uh, data in terms of its thickness, and then in terms of its the various divisions and the thickness of that division also, as well as the composition of each, as well as of certain properties for each. So here is where we have the three layers. Crust is the layer we live on. It's very thin. Mantle is below the crust, and it is the reason why we have so many things happening around us, such as earthquakes and volcanoes and plate tectonics. And the core, of course, is the main reason for whatever is happening in the mantle, and it is in the center, being very hot with very high pressures and temperature. As I said, each one is divided into two parts, and let's start with the crust. The crust is like very thin, like a skin of an apple, they say, or even thinner than that when compared to the other three layers. It is about 70 kilometers thick under the continents, and this continental crust is called as SEMA. So you must be knowing that SEMA means it has made up of silica and magnesium. So the two words that we use is Si for silica and Ma for magnesium. It is mainly made up of granite, which is a type of igneous rock. Then we have the Sial. So the Sial is about 10 to 30 kilometers under the oceans. It's called as the oceanic crust, and it is made up of silica and aluminum. And since aluminum is uh, heavier than magnesium, so then you will find that it stays at the bottom. So here is made up of basalt, mainly because it is volcanic in nature, and that is, both these are igneous rocks. Right. So here is where we look at the crust. So the continental plate, which is the Sial, and the oceanic plate, which is the Sima, right below it. As you can see, the continental plate is very thick, and the oceanic plate is very thin. And it is at the bottom of the ocean, and it is what has made the configuration of the ocean, created a lot of features in the ocean, on the ocean floor, right? And just below that, we have a red layer, and that is the mantle, the upper portion of the mantle. Now, the mantle is the largest layer of the earth, and here is where you'll find that it is consisting of many substances, like all the substances that you have on the earth's crust in terms of minerals are all found in the mantle. And since temperatures are so high, and the gravitation is a little less, therefore you'll find that most of the mantle is in a semi-solid state. So this is 2900 kilometers, and it comprises the major part of the earth's crust. Now, the mantle is divided into two parts. The upper portion is called as the asthenosphere, and the asthenosphere is more liquid than the uh, uh, the lower mantle, and it has a temperature of around 1200 degrees Celsius, and that's the reason that we have what we call as plate movements. So we look at this picture here. The just below the continental crust, we have the oceanic crust, which sometimes is called as a rigid mantle, and then just below that we have the asthenosphere. So the entire region here, like I said, has a temperature of 1200 degrees Celsius and is in constant motion, which is why we have a whole lot of what do you call, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and also plate tectonics. Now, the lithosphere here is made up of all the three layers. So, the crust and the upper layer of the mantle together is called as the lithosphere. And this lithosphere is actually broken down into many pieces called plates. The plates are actually floating, right, in the asthenosphere itself. So it seems to be like one, like a boat. Okay, and so it seems to be one part, and that is why it is called as lithosphere. As we can see, if you when you see the lithospheric plates, which we'll do in detail under plate tectonics, the entire earth here, world here, is divided into these plates. So you can see in this map that you have light and dark colors. So the light colors here, of say if it's a light violet, for example, in the South American plate is a purple. The light purple is the continent. The dark purple is the ocean floor. So all these are actually one plate. So we say South American plate, it is both the South American continent and the Atlantic Ocean. So this gives you an idea of how the entire Earth, the solid Earth, is divided into these lithospheric plates, which we will do in detail later. Then within this mantle here, so in the middle mantle, which is around, the asthenosphere is about 400 kilometers thick, but below the asthenosphere, about 2,500 kilometers of material, it is so hot that the material is in constant movement, and we call these movements as convection currents. Now, it is mainly caused because of the heat from the inner core. So the heat of the inner core heats up uh, the this the what do you call it? It heats up the uh, lower part of the mantle, and that then causes the magma to rise up. And as the magma rises up, it then cools, and when it cools, it has to come down. Now, because it cannot come down in the same place, since magma is all the time rising in that place, it sort of makes a kind of a turn to wherever, whatever area is free. And in doing so, you will find that it pushes the asthenosphere and then the oceanic crust and the continental plate. And that's how exactly we have the formation of plates movement or plate tectonic. Here is an experiment you can try in any hot water. If you just place any floating object and if you heat it up, then as you heat it up, you will notice that the floating object that you had placed in the center of your vessel then moves to the side. And then that is basically happening because of convection, the way water heats up. Water heats up in the form of convectional processes, and that causes the movement of the cork or the cap or whatever you have used to the side. And that is exactly that what's happening just below us. The outer core now. So the core is made up of two parts, the outer core and the inner core. Outer core is very hot, and because it is so hot, it is in the form of liquid. And it has both nickel, iron, as well as sulfides. Though in the diagram it's only said nickel and iron, right? And this entire region is actually called as knife, especially the inner core. But the outer core is about 1400 miles thick and has temperatures of close to 4000 degrees Celsius, right? And this is in the form of a liquid. And finally, we have the inner core, which is in the form of a solid. Extremely high temperatures here, they say it goes up to even 6000 degrees Celsius. And it is in a solid state mainly because of the weight and the gravity of the entire earth and its material towards the center. But in spite of being that, they say that sometimes because of earthquakes and sudden releases in pressure, the entire core then turns into liquid, and then can move and cause the earth to wobble. And that's what's happened in many of the major earthquakes that we have had in the past. Now it is here the region is made up of nickel and iron, and therefore it is also called knife. So questions here for the examination could be: what is Sial, what is Sima, what is knife, what is asthenosphere, how thick are they, what is the material they are made up of, what is their location. what are their properties, and so on and so forth, either in the form of a table or in the form of just data or statements. And you need to be familiar with all this. Thank you.